Types of conflicts. Conflict can be classified into four types: intrapersonal, interpersonal, intragroup, and intergroup conflict. Conflict affecting project teams can occur in individuals, in teams, and between teams. Conflicts within work teams are often caused by struggles over control, status, and limited resources. Conflicts between teams in organizations have similar origins. The constructive resolution of such conflicts can most often be achieved through a rational process of problem solving, combined with a willingness to explore issues and alternatives and to listen to each other. Intrapersonal conflict occurs within an individual. The experience takes place in the person's mind. Therefore, it is a type of conflict that involves the individual's thoughts, values, principles, and emotions. For example, a team member might have a conflict in the use of a project approach because it might be against her beliefs or principles. As a leader, you need to be aware of the situations or circumstances that might create this type of conflict in the members of your team. If not managed, this type of conflict can have an effect on the performance and motivation of the team member. Interpersonal conflict refers to a conflict between two individuals or team members. This occurs typically due to how people are different from one another. Team members have diverse personalities, experience, and backgrounds that usually results to incompatible choices and opinions. The interaction between individuals with different attitudes, values, and needs can produce conflict behavior, which can affect project performance. As a project leader, you need to manage it before the interpersonal conflict gets too destructive. Intragroup conflict is a type of conflict that happens among individuals within a team. The incompatibilities and misunderstandings among these individuals is what creates the intragroup conflict. It arises from interpersonal disagreements or differences in views and ideas on how to do a task, solve a problem, assign resources, or achieve an objective. Within a team, conflict can be helpful in coming up with decisions which will eventually allow them to reach their objective as a team. However, if the degree of conflict disrupts harmony among the team members, then the project leader needs to provide guidance and help resolve the issue before it creates a negative effect on the team. Intergroup conflict takes place when a misunderstanding arises among different teams within an organization. For example, the finance department of an organization can come in conflict with the emergency program department. This is due to the different goals and interests of these groups. In addition, competition over limited resources also contributes for intergroup conflict to arise. This type of conflict needs to be managed by senior executives in the organization. Conflict in teams can also be classified by their type. Understanding the type of conflict is important for the leader before starting the conflict management process. The types of conflicts are relationship, task, and process conflict. Understanding the type of conflict is the first step for a project leader before trying to manage it. Relationship conflict is also known as affective or emotional conflict. It involves disagreements based on personal and social issues that are not related to work. This type of conflict comes from personal frictions, personality clashes, ego, and tensions. This is the type of conflict that most team members and team leaders try to avoid. Relationship conflict interferes with the effort people put in the project work, causing them to work less effectively and produce poor quality outputs. This type of conflict focuses on finding out who's to blame for a problem more than how to solve and results in heated emotions, bad feelings, and unresolved issues. The goal of the project leader is to manage this type of conflict before it impacts the performance of the team. Task conflict is also known as cognitive conflict. It consists of disagreements among team members related to a certain task, its content, direction, and goal. Task conflict is not about personal issues, but rather occur around plans, ideas, or projects. The key difference is that the depersonalized aspect of the task conflict that allow for greater diversity in opinions and ideas. Task conflict is often effective in stimulating creativity because it forces people to rethink problems and arrive at solutions that everyone can agree with. Different opinions, viewpoints, decisions, and proposed changes are some of the chief causes of task conflict. Task or cognitive conflict has been shown to have a positive effect on team performance. The goal for the project leader is balancing the task conflict to avoid it from becoming relationship conflict. Process conflicts refer to the disagreements about how the work should get done. Similar to task conflict, process conflict does not have the personal aspects that are found in relationship conflict. The difference between process conflict and task conflict is that the conflict does not exist in the task, but rather in the approach to handling the task. The conflict comes from disagreements on how to achieve the goals and who is responsible for each part. Process conflicts are easily observed in large teams where disputes and frustrations over responsibility and assignments are more visible. Process conflict originates from ambiguities in the principles used to delegate tasks, responsibilities, and resources in the team. Just like task conflict, process conflict is a positive or constructive type of conflict that can generate ideas and better solutions if managed properly.